Hey, everybody. Happy Father's Day. Arsenic. Good to see you, my friend. Drew. How you doing, Drew? Happy Father's Day, my friend. Good to have you here. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining me. Hello, Dan. Blazer. Blazer man. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Thanks for joining me, guys. On a Sunday and a Father's Day, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. New Zealand. Okay. New Zealand Father's Day is in September. Okay. I didn't know. I had no idea. Yeah, for us is right now. Today is Father's Day. So happy Father's Day. Aaron, happy Father's Day, my friend. Alex, good to have you all. Yeah, Central Texas. Alex, I'm a little bit north of you, so I'm in North Texas. So yeah, the weather here is crazy right now. Oh my gosh, it's so hot, guys. It's for the past few weeks, it's probably like in the hundreds degrees Fahrenheit, and it stayed that way. And so it's been brutal. My plants are just suffering like crazy. Pissed off Tex from Texas. Yes. Hello, my neighbors. Oh man. Let's see. Rude boy. I have some pinto pepper, but the flowers won't stay on in South Florida. It could be because of heat. Heat could cause the flowers to drop a lot. I have peppers outside right now, struggling like crazy. The flowers just won't stay on because it's just so hot. So when they stress out, they seem to just drop flat. Flowers. If you water too much, it could also do that as well. Okay, yes, we have 22 people joining. Happy Father Day to you guys. Thanks for joining me. And as always, this is just a question answer session. Just want to come on and say hello, answer some questions, maybe talk about a few things. Oh, guys, I can't wait to show you the property I'm working on. So lately, I have been pretty busy because I haven't been tending to the pepper garden or anything like that because I was out at my property working on my land. It's crazy hot outside there, guys. Look, I think I got a good tan too. Fresh jalapenos, peppers tonight. That's awesome. Will you do more chili sauce making videos with different recipes? I could. I think I have a few different recipes that I could try, but usually I stick to that same 15 minutes recipe that I've shown you guys. I think that's my favorite of all. It's easy and very easy to make. It's fast. It's tasty. Aaron, yes, my friend. You know what? I should show you. I'm at. I was gonna make a video to show you guys the tour of the farm, but maybe I'll show you a little clip of it right now if you guys can see it. Look at that. Look, it's how beautiful the flowers. The entire place is filled with like wildflowers, a bunch of trees. There's lots and lots of animals on there. But yeah. Aaron, I'll do a pepper update and I'll include the tour in it so you can watch it. It's pretty cool. How the pears handling the heat. The pears are doing great. The heat, it's not affecting my pears any. Fruit trees in general, they did do fine because if it gets too crazy hot, I'll go out there and I'll water them. So they don't need constant watering like the peppers do, because I have my peppers in a raised bed, and the raised bed dries up so fast, and it's just like you can. I go out there each day, and you can tell that the leaves is starting to droop and it turns soft. It's because the water has been all dried up. It's every day it's been the same. It's so hot here. I'm located North Texas, so yeah, it's zone 8A. Yeah, happy Father's Day to you guys. Thanks for joining me. Let's see, we were talking about hot sauce earlier, right? I made some, oh gosh, I made a bunch of stuff recently. I made Korean pickles using radishes, Korean radish, pickle radish, and I added some peppers to it. Man, it's good. I made some spicy cucumbers, the Korean spicy cucumbers. I made some Vietnamese cured beef with peppers in it. Oh man, it's so good. There's just so many things you can do with peppers, guys. That's the reason why I grow it. I grow it all the time because it's a must. I have to have peppers. I actually have peppers sitting right here next to me that is ready. Oh, you know what? Let me show you off my plant to you guys. The little mini peppers. Look at this, guys. This thing is still alive. Look at this. It's been like months and months. Look at how many peppers there are on this thing. It's like a little Christmas tree. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And in just a little container, it's not very big, just a water bottle. Look at that. And look at the amount of peppers you can get on here. Isn't that ridiculous? Aaron, this is the what was it? This is the sweet variety of the one I sent you. And I mean, look at all of these peppers, guys. Have you ever seen anything like this? Just such a small plant and the amount of peppers that are on here. Just crazy, right? And do you guys know that you can actually clone melons? This is Japanese melons that I clone. Look at this. See the roots? Oh, I better put it back before it fall off. See the roots are in here. I cloned this, and then look. I grow this in hydroponic, and so there's a baby melon right here. See that? So you can actually clone melons and grow them because you prune them anyway, so you can clone them so you have a whole bunch of melons. So I'll do a video on that so you guys can see how you clone melons. These are Japanese melons. They don't get very big, but they're very tasty and sweet. And so when I grow them in my hydroponic systems, I constantly have to trim all of the sides that keep growing, and those are the sides. The sides you can clone them, and then have a whole bunch of them growing at the same time. If you try to clone peppers, Aaron, put them in a bottle of water and under your grow light. Put it inside. Don't, I cloned a few this year and they worked. I cloned two of my white ties in just plain water, just like I showed you, like this. Just cut a branch of your pepper and use a water bottle method and just leave it in there. Sometimes it takes like a month to root. Sometimes it might take even longer, but just leave it. And then once you see a little bit root, you put a few drops of hydroponic solutions in there. Oh man, they shoot and take off like crazy. Charles, my friend, good to see you, I haven't seen you in a long time, Charles. Good to have you here. Happy Father's Day. Can you clone peppers? Yes, I have done many videos on how to clone peppers. So if you want to know how, just browse the channel. You will see. Yeah, I'm always cloning. I clone everything. I clone trees too, like avocado tree. I think I have an avocado tree that I just cloned, and I think it rooted. I need to check though, but it's growing like crazy right now. Uh, they turn yellow before rooting. Yeah, sometimes they do that. You just need to change out the water a bit, and if they turn yellow, it's something that they don't like. It could be your water. Just change it. Try to rinse it out and not have like algae. If you have algae, you have to clean it out. Yes, anything in the MTN station, yes, I do have it running right now. Mighty, it is growing stuff. Do you water with drip irrigation? I don't, but I've been meaning to set it up, but I haven't had a chance. You know, in weather like this, I wish I had set it up earlier this year. The drip would really help the peppers. Let's see. Urgent question. I have an outdoor hydroponic growing pepper right now. Do I have to have a pump on all the time, or can the water be oxygenated enough over the night? Yes, you don't have to turn it on all the time. You can let the pump run just during the day, and then it could shut off at night, and then the next day it'll run again. That's just fine. There's no issues. No problem. Let's see. Let's see, Jeff. Any advice for growing hydroponic peppers indoor in large quantity? You can get pretty good amount of peppers grown in hydroponic indoors. And as you see this right here? That's a small system, and look how many peppers you can get. So imagine if I grow this in a larger system, I would get like hundreds and hundreds of peppers. Um, depending on the variety that you want to grow, some varieties like the Carolina Reapers or some of the super hots and stuff like that, they they are very picky when you grow them in hydroponic. They grow like crazy, but they don't produce that much because any little change in the nutrients, they start to drop all their flowers. So you also it's good to pick a certain variety because some varieties are very forgiving. Like any annuums are very forgiving. Ahi varieties are very forgiving, um, and like something like a sugar rush variety like that, or a Thai variety. Man, you grow it in hydroponic, it produces like crazy. If you want large quantity, make sure you pick something that is not a super hot, because some super hots can be very sensitive and they're very hard to tend to. Um, so that's what I find. A lot of the super hots struggle quite a bit when you grow them in hydroponic. You just have to constantly keep balance. Like your pH has to be balanced. Your nutrients has to be changed often. Anything go out of balance, they start to drop a lot of the flowers. Am I growing the matapino? No, I'm not. I've heard a few people mention that, and I think I've seen some pictures of the matapino. Uh, isn't it like the variegated kind or something like that? Oh yeah, earlier somebody asked me about my pears. Man, the pears are just amazing. The fruits are getting really big right now. So I'm probably gonna do another update pretty soon on the pears. Usually I'll clump a few months into one video. That way you can see more of what's happening instead of having to do such constant update. Billy, yes. Guys, Billy Nelson, he gave me the cutting board that I use in all my review video. Yeah, and Billy, I'm still using it. Thank you for that, my friend. And I think this year, when I do more reviews, I'm gonna bring out the cutting boards again. Do you think peppers can get you high? You know what? It probably could because when I eat those crazy super hot, man, I get this feeling like you almost like you get that capsaicin high. It is weird, but yeah, I think it could. Have I compared the taste of soil versus the hydromelons? You know what? I think I have, and I'm not sure if I could tell the difference. the hydroponic melons, man, they are good, guys. I was completely blown away. I thought like, the melons in hydroponics are not gonna taste sweet. It may have like some taste. It's just all in my head. You don't get any of those tastes. It just tastes just like a regular melon. It's very nice and sweet. The thing with hydroponic melons is that you can mix the hydroponic solutions to match the needs of the melon so that you can get the sweetest melons. So it's very strange. But of course, growing it in soil is always the best. If you have a good mixture of soil, it's of course it's always the best. But you'll be surprised how good certain things taste in hydroponic. So yeah, my melons in hydroponic, I have right now I'm growing four plants, and I think I have 10 melons right now in the grow room. They're not ready yet, so once they're ready, I'm gonna have to show it to you guys. Some are like like larger than a baseball, and some are like the big kind. And with melons, it's like if you grow a bunch of melons, you let the plant fruit, like one fruit per plant. It gives you a better quality and larger melons. Uh, so every year I grow them, I let the plant fruit like four melons each plant, and they become like these little cute melons. It's so funny. But then I grow one right next to it, and I only allow one melon, and that melon is enormous. Yes, Leo, I definitely agree with you, my friend. Our grandfather can probably grow anything better than we can nowadays. It's almost like they understand the land, and they understand the soil, and they understand the purpose. And a lot of the stuff that they grow is basically like pure organic. My grandfather did too, and that's I think that's where the love of gardening came from, because I used to help my grandfather on the farm. We have like orchards, and like they grow oranges, grapefruits, um, jackfruits, and all this stuff, mangoes, and then we grow peas and beans and peppers and stuff like that. And there were no type of fertilizer at all at the time. I mean, I didn't even know what fertilizer were. I think what we used were like animal, like cows poop, chicken poops, and stuff that they make, where they just grow everything all together. And it seems like the land sort of like rejuvenate itself, like as the plants die, those becomes those wastes become organic matter that the plants feed on when it break down. So that the soil is very, very healthy. And so yeah, it's just amazing what they did back then, from not having much. Oh wow, you're from Champagne. That's like a very famous place. Isn't it true that champagne, which is the thing that we drink, can only be called champagne if it's made from champagne in Champagne? Yeah, agriculture society. Even I have so much to learn. It's like, even though I grow all these years, it's like things never stop. You always learn something new all the time. And it's great. A lot of information I picked up is because I have these communities that I'm a part of, and the people on there are just so good, guys. They just have full of knowledge, and all you have to do is just go there and ask them. That's it. There you go. Grow with grape in Champagne. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I guess when we think of France, I think the first thing that comes to our mind is like they make the best wine in Champagne. Oh, mighty, yeah. Am I growing tobacco this year? Of course, my friend. Those are, they're a deterrent, not deterrent, actually. What do they call those? They actually attract the worms away from my peppers. So like I grow them next to the peppers so that the hornworms can go there instead of my peppers. So it actually is a good strategy because the leaves are massive, and when the I think the hummingbird caterpillar or whatever, they just tend to just land on the massive leaves instead of looking for the peppers. Um, yeah, maybe deterrent or like a diversion, create a diversion, confuse them a little bit, have them land on the tobacco instead of my peppers. Wow, guys, look at that. How did we get all this spam already? Jesus. Anyways, they should not allow these spams in YouTube, but not sure how that got through. Yes, they are rabbits, man. The other day, the rabbits came and gave a few of my peppers a topping. They ate the tip of my peppers, and yeah, and so it really set the plant back a little bit. Yeah, so so yeah, we do have rabbits right now. I think there were one that would try to make a nest in my yard. SoundQuest. Oh man, it's been a while since I've seen that name. How you doing, Rob? Is it okay to grow through the window? It depends. If you have a really bright window that can get like 6 to 8 hours of light, direct sunlight, you can. But if you have indirect light, you're not going to be able to grow peppers. You may be able to grow other things like indoor plants. Like I have these indoor plants that I grow, like the snake plants and stuff like that. You can grow those by the window. They don't need direct sunlight. They just need lights through the window. But if you're trying to grow lettuce or you're trying to grow peppers and stuff like that, and you don't have direct sun, it's not going to work. You're going to have these lanky plants that are going to flop over and then just not going to grow. Yes, Rob, you are right, my friend. Garden is hard work, but a lot of us enjoy it. I like it because it's kind of like an exercise. It's a stress relief. I don't know. I like to get my hands in the soil and get dirty. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Can we grow peppers indoors, chambers like cannabis? Yeah, I'm sure you can. Did I show you the indoor pepper that I grow right here? I grow this indoors. You see this? I'm not sure if you've seen it, but yeah, this is completely grown inside. Randy, you have a ghost pepper that's going over 100. That's great. Ghost peppers are known to produce a lot. They're actually very pretty peppers. I love the way they grow. Not so much the flavor because I don't like the. Actually, let me. I do like ghost peppers, but I like them dried. I don't like them fresh. The perfume, flowery, floral flavor. I don't like it as much. But when I dry them and I put them on pizza, oh man, that's good stuff. Yeah, Drew, you tagged me on Instagram, and I saw those peppers that you grow. Man, that they are very pretty. Yeah, I'm glad you get you grow them. They taste good. They look good. Um, you know, uh, of all the peppers that I grow, and anytime you pick a lemon starburst and you put it next to a bunch of peppers, You can always pick it out. It looks so different than the rest of the peppers. Yeah, I love the lemon starburst. I'm actually growing like 4 or 5 plants this year. Oh, Keith, you're second year pepper grower and you have 100 or so plants. Wow, that's a lot. Wow, my friend, that is a lot of peppers to take care of. Uh, Code design, happy Father's Day, my friend. You know what? I am just having water right now because I did have a few drinks last night. I had friends over and I haven't seen in like over 6 years, and we had a few drinks. So today I'm just gonna take a break. What is the hottest pepper I created? It's called the Hornet, the Sriracha Hornet. It's very hot. I think Johnny Scoville did a review on the Sriracha Hornet. Yeah, they're probably the hottest that I created. There's another one. It's called the Texas Chocolate Bonnet. Oh man, that thing is also very, very hot. Let's see. How many crosses do you do each year that, and what strain are you looking forward to getting? I don't know how many I do each year, but I try to do uh, one every year just to see what happens. There's a lot of crosses that I made that I didn't like, so I just trash it and start over. So yeah, I think I do one or two a year to see how I like it. If I don't like it, then I'll just start over with something else. You can get the Hornet seeds on Pepper Lovers community. You can go on there and share. People trade for those all the time. And I think on the Peppers Lover right now, there's a gentleman, Nate, Nate, and man, he grows like the prettiest hornet that I've seen, and pretty, they're pretty plants. They taste great too, and they're super hot. We've been weeding the garden like crazy this year. Oh man. You know what? Me too. The reason I've been weeding more this year is because I kind of neglected them, and so the grass get into the crevices of the raised beds that deteriorated, and so the grass started to grow, and now I got to pull them out. Man, the grass are crazy, you guys. That once they spread, and they're very hard to get rid of. Where's that group at? It's on Facebook. Just go to Facebook and search for Pepper Lovers. Nice, Drew. You sent some to Johnny. Johnny is probably one of the best pepper reviewers out there. I mean, the best. He's one of the few that can eat a super hot with a straight face, no flinching and nothing, and explain the flavor. You know, and that's good because a lot of the times when I want to grow a pepper, I'll go to Johnny's channel to see if he's done a review before I grow them, because I want to know what the flavor is. I want to know what it looks like as a pod. So I like to see before I grow it. And so I go to Johnny's channel, check it out, and then and then I'll decide to grow. But when I eat a super hot, I'm telling you guys, I start freaking out because it gets so hot. My head starts sweating, and then I forget what the flavor was. I forget what it tastes like. So I'm a terrible at reviewing hot peppers. It's just like I eat it and I forget what it tastes like because it's so hot. Yes, Mighty, I'm still doing in-ground compost. It's actually a really neat idea because I have a huge raised bed, right? So there's plenty of room. So I put a little bucket in there. Of course, you can buy the lid. The lid is to keep the flies out and all that stuff. And I, the scraps that we don't use, like around the, we make food and stuff like that, and the veggies we throw out, and all the bits I collect and I put them in there. And the worms love it. They get free food all the time. So they go through there, and if you have like little cracks or something like that, like the soldier flies will get in there and they'll eat all the compost and stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you make it big enough, Mighty, like a 5 to 10 gallons in a big raised bed, and keep it covered, the worms will come. They'll eat those things, and it'll turn itself into free compost that you don't have to do anything with. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is put scrap in there and close it. And every once in a while, put more in there and close it. And then it'll take care of itself. It just breaks down slowly, and it'll feed the plants. It's pretty cool. And if you have the thing you need to do is don't let the area dry out, because the worms have to go in and out of there. So don't let it dry. No, it does not stink. It will only smell a little bit if you let like soldier flies in there. That's what I noticed. When soldier flies get in there, they start eating the compost. It does give a little bit of a smell. It's not crazy bad. You just rinse it with water and it's fine. But if you close it and don't let the flies get in there, it's perfect. It won't be no smell at all. And if you worry about the smell, just put a little bit of dirt on top like that, and the dirt won't harm the worm because they live in there anyway, and it'll help the bacteria break down the stuff even more. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Just keep the raised bed at a constant moisture. Don't let it dry, because when it gets dry, the worms will not be able to get in there. Unless you put it real deep. But then if you put it real deep, it's hard to open the lid and put stuff in and stuff like that. So I kind of elevate it a little bit. I give myself a little room to put the compost in there. Co-design, yeah. I can't do pepper flavors, as I mentioned. I eat it and then I forget what it tastes like. But I can do the medium heat. Anything that's medium heat, I can do that, like the Thai peppers and stuff like that. Maybe up to the habanero, up to those. But anything hotter than that, I'm not going to be able to tell you the flavor, because I will forget it. When you eat it, that it's the flavor, and all of a sudden the heat kicks in, everything just go out of control. It's very hot. Mighty, as many holes as you can, but on the underside, on the bottom, because the worm can climb in and out, and put some on the side as well. Some on the side is good so that they can crawl through, but don't put the holes above ground because you don't want flies to get in there. As long as the holes are below the ground, you can put as many as you want. Let's see. How many gallons of hydroponic solution for tiny Tim tomato grown in cracky? A lot. Depending how long you're going to grow the plants, you can always refill. You know that, right? In cracky, you can refill. The only thing you need to do is watch where the level is. Don't fill above that level, and it will be fine. Tiny Tims, I mean, you can that tomato can grow like easily 6 7 months, and so in that time you're gonna have to give it a lot of feedings, and and if you don't prune, they drink more. But Tiny Tims are usually small and bushy, but since they're going to be growing for so long, you might have to keep feeding them or refilling. And it, in hydroponic, the tomato plants tend to grow much larger than when they're in soil. So the larger the plants, the more they would drink too. So you may need to, do every 2 weeks, you might have to, either change it out or add more nutrients to it, depending, of course, on the size of your reservoir. Have I ever grown apple crisp pepper? I don't think so, but I have grown sweet apples. Sweet apple peppers, I'm not sure if they're the same. Maybe they're different names. I'm not sure. But sweet apple pepper is one of my favorite to grow for the sweet variety of pepper. And I actually use it as the base for my hot sauce, the sweet apple. Sometimes I use California Wonder Bell. Those are great. Uh, they're just a great addition to add texture and thickness to the sauce. So yeah, apple crisp maybe they're great. I haven't grown it, but I've grown sweet apple pepper. Are you in a group grow with any people on Pepper Lovers? Uh, I forgot. I usually grow. There's like pepper challenge, like certain varieties that they pick. I would join, and I think I joined pepper in a can before. Pepper in a can is fun. Let's see, Matt. Why does the water in the air garden drastically drop in pH over time? I add pH down to make it 5.6. It would change the water. It drops to 5.5 a week or two later. The reason for that is because maybe your plants are big and they're fruiting. Usually, when you have fruiting plants they take up nutrients, constantly. They're constantly using up the nutrients, and whatever they don't use, they get left behind. And when they do that, they tend to change the pH at the same time. So every few days, the pH is going to change. But because the air garden cycles the water like this, it goes up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down. It's not stagnant. It's not constant. So the change in pH is not affected as much as if you are growing in like a cracky method where the water is just still. If the water is just still and the pH change, it causes a lot of problem. But in the air garden, the water is being cycled a lot. So even with the change in the pH, it's not as bad. So you can check it and then readjust if you want to. But make sure you calibrate the pH reader, because sometimes it goes out every once in a while, and if you don't get it calibrated, the measure is going to be off, and you're going to kind of like waste time. Yeah, that's good. Good to calibrate it once a month. But honestly, when I grow in my air garden, I live in Texas, right? Our water is hard. We have hard water, and the pH is around, I think, eight to 8.1, something like that, around there. And I also use Dynagrow, and I never check pH. I never use pH. I don't use pH up, pH down, nothing. I just put the water into the air garden, put 5 drop of liquid in there, liquid fertilizer or nutrient, sorry, and it mixes up, and that is it. And that's how I grow these plants right here. I don't check pH at all. Is that a good idea? No, it's not a good idea. pH is important. It's just I don't do it, and it worked. But if it doesn't work for you, make sure you check pH. Do I use blood meal and bone meal in your peppers? Yes, I use them in the outside garden. Occasionally, sometimes at the end of the year, the blood meal and the bone meal go on discount, like at Walmart and stuff like that, for like a few bucks. And I buy a bunch of them. And yes, I use blood meal and bone meal for peppers. Tomatoes too. Oh, Sherry, right there. In Florida, tomatoes grow for 3 years and peppers 7 years. Wow. Okay. You know what? I saw one of the user on Facebook, and he posted a what is it? The Hawaiian pepper, and I mean, I'm talking about like it looks like a tree, and he said that that pepper plant was 10 years old. Yeah. So some pepper varieties can grow. Usually they're between 3 to 5 years in places where you can keep them warm, that they don't die. And there's some that can live up to 10 years, even 15 years. But of course, we live in the cold climate where we have seasons. So in the wintertime, snow, frost, and all that, they would kill the peppers. But in Florida, yes, they're perennial there. Yeah, if your tap water is like 6.5 to 7.5, I think you should be fine. You don't have to add much of the pH down. Just add Dynagrow and then check the pH. If it goes to 6.5, you're set. You don't have to do anything. So then that's less money for you don't have to buy pH down. You don't have to buy a calibrator. Here's a tip for you guys. If you guys are doing AeroGarden or any kind of indoor growing or hydroponic growing, when you measure your pH, use a measure, like a medicine dropper, and then you can count the how many milliliter until the water is adjusted to your liking, and then write that down. So the next time when you do the same thing, even if your meter is broken, you can just do the exact same thing, so that you don't have to buy one. I used to have the pH meter a long time ago, and then it broke, and ever since then, it's been like 3 or 4 years. I didn't buy a new one yet. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I just don't change it. I don't check it anymore. Jimmy, good to have you, my friend. Happy Father's Day. Jimmy Pickles. But yeah, guys, so I have an update, the pepper update that I've been trying to release soon, to show you the current state of the peppers. Man, I should have included my hydroponic peppers, but maybe on the next one. So I will probably release that video pretty soon, and it's going to include the tour of my property so you can see it. Co-design, I also grow apples, and I have a 5-in-1 apple tree because I grafted them. I grafted two varieties onto my apple tree recently, and one of it was from an apple that I ate, and there was a seed in it, and I grew that apple into a tree. And when it reaches one year old, I cut the top of the tree off and I grafted onto the main tree, and now I have an additional variety on it. So grafting the apple is very, very easy. I also grafted an apple onto my pear, and then a pear onto my apple. I mean, it's amazing. It's alive, and it worked. I don't know if you guys have done that, but apple can be grafted onto a pear, and a pear can be grafted onto an apple, and it lives. One of my grafts is around 2 years old now. It's still alive. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get going now. So thank you for joining me on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye now.